Hello everyone, Thor here. I waited a few days because I wanted to watch the movie again. I also wanted to make sure everyone got a chance to watch it. It's almost been a week, so here's a spoiler video. Also, comment below. I will do a drawing for this painting from Stellar Design. They do great work. I'll ship it out to you for free, so I'll go to one lucky person. So yeah, Scream 6 spoilers. I got a bunch to talk about. There's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot to unpack here. I think it's a great movie even on the second viewing. People say it's the best since the first. I don't know if I'm ready to say that, but I would say it's probably in the top 4. Definitely, it's definitely better than 3. This is a hard series to gauge. I might have to do a video where I rank them, but that'll be for another day. So we start the movie out with Samara Weaving. She's at a restaurant. She's gonna meet a guy. Might be like a Tinder date or something. That'd be an interesting concept too, seeing Ghostface or the killers like take more advantage of technology. I think they did a little bit in the last one. I think they did some Facebook messaging or something. But besides copying a phone or taking a phone, there's a lot you can do with just social media. So I predicted she would be the first kill. I was unfortunately right. The reason I say unfortunate is I think she would have been a good addition to one of the main characters, even if she died later in the movie. She was in Ready or Not, another movie they made, and she was great. That was a couple years ago, but they love killing off big characters in the first 15 minutes, and she's the Drew Barrymore of this film. So she's talking to a guy that can't find a restaurant, and she says that she's a professor, and she teaches, she specifically works in slashers, and she's got a bunch of students, so she's talking to them about that, and she talks about she finds them interesting, but she breaks a lot of the rules. She's sitting there, she's drinking, that's breaking rule number 1. She answers the phone, which he even comments on later. So she's talking to him on the phone, trying to guide him to it. She goes outside the restaurant. Then the guy she's talking to says, "I'm in an alley. Some guy's approaching me. He's got a knife." So she runs down the alley, and then he changes to the Ghostface voice and says that, why'd you follow all by yourself? Like, you should know better, which this movie is very meta. So, obviously calling out the stupid things that people do in the movie. And she gets attacked, and as he's stabbing her, the final stab, he says, "Now I see something red." Got to get the Ghostface one-liner in there. The Ghostface kills her, takes off the mask. That really surprised me because I was like, oh, is this what we're doing with the movie? We're going to know the whole time who the killer is? Not quite, but that would be an interesting concept if we watched and we know who the killer is through the whole movie and how they would pull that off. But a lot of the fun is figuring it out. I was pretty spot on in my predictions, and I'll get to that soon. He walks away after he killed her character. His name is Jason. Probably obvious reference to Friday the 13th. And walking by, he finds Tara. He says to Tara says he should go to the party, and he asks if Sam's going because he wants to get them both together. Him and his roommate, Greg, want to continue Richie's work. The stab fanatics have like a shrine and like Ghostface costumes in a closet, and they want to get Sam and Tara together and finish the job, finish the movie. They're probably all a part of that forum from Scream 2, which this is all coming back to. You'd think the forum's shut down, but apparently in this world, no. As Jason's in the apartment, there's a couple cool Easter eggs. Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan's on the TV. It's the part on the boat though, because let's be honest, that one's pretty much Jason takes the boat. Then he gets a call from Greg, and he's like, "Greg, why are you using the voice on me? Why are you messing with me?" And then he plays like, "You're getting hotter, you're getting colder." He walks around, there's a bunch of cool posters, like this Nice 9 Kills poster, and a lot of cool references in there. And then he opens up the fridge to see a cut up body, and Ghostface comes and stabs him a bunch of times. And as he's dying, he's like, "Who's going to finish the movie?" And this Ghostface is like, "I don't give a fuck about a movie." And that's how we start. We start off pretty strong. After that, we go to a scene where Sam's with her therapist, and she's trying to talk about how Tara's not dealing with it, and then the therapist is like, I want to know more about your issues. You know, you won't tell me, you close yourself off. And she finally comes through and says, yeah, my dad's Billy Loomis. It felt good when I killed Richie, my psycho killer ex-boyfriend. And the therapist is just like, yep, I'm out. I got to notify the police. And so she leaves, and she heads back to the apartment. Here we meet Quinn, their new roommate, and this guy that she's got an infatuation with that lives across the way. They show him real quick. Another possible red herring, because it's always a love interest, as they say later. Sam's pretty mad that Tara's at the party, so she heads off to the party. Now we're at the Scream party. We're getting it early. They got to be in every movie, but here we go. It's a costume party. Lots of cool costumes. One of the new characters, Ethan's, wearing a costume from Murder Party, which was a kind of a cool reference. There's a bunch of costumes. I think one girl is dressed as Wednesday. That might be later in the movie. I don't exactly remember. But, of course, because Jenny Ortega plays Wednesday, so they had to do that. Then Tara meets up with this guy named Frankie, and he persuades her to go upstairs with him. Chad's not about to have that. Goes and starts to have a drunk bro fight with Frankie, and Sam says no and tases him and takes care of that pretty quickly. And everyone says Sam's the crazy girl because the rumor's been online that she is the mastermind, so she's got to deal with that. Some girl throws water on her while she fights with Tara, and Tara's like, I want to live my life, I want to make mistakes. And Sam's like, you got to deal with this at some point. And then they go back to their apartment. Then back at the apartment, they see on TV that 2 people were killed. They see that they were in the same films class. Interesting that they're going to a film class about slashers when they survived one, but, you know, to each their own, right? But yeah, 2 of them got killed, and they have Ghostface costumes, so there's definitely a connection. They decide they want to leave because the murders are close, and as they're walking outside, there's a call on Sam's phone from Richie's number, which he's dead, so it can't be him, so of course it's Ghostface. He mentions how those 2 were going to kill them, and Sam's like, oh, so you're protecting me? He's like, nope. And he attacks them, chases them to a store, which is called Abe's Steaks, which is reference to Wes Craven. He filmed like an adult film or something under that fake name, something about that. Kind of an interesting Easter egg, but he chases them into the shop. They're distressed. The owner's going to try to help them. Then Ghostface appears and takes out the owner. This is where we get we all saw the leaked photo of him with the shotgun. He definitely uses it. Pretty brutal. And we got a scene that's kind of like, it's kind of like the raptor scene from Jurassic Park, where they're trying not to make noise and they're like ducked in this aisle. He's looking for them. They kind of make a noise, so they shove over a shelf on him. They run outside. Finally, the police get there, but this Ghostface is long gone, but left a mask that I think is ID'd to Amber or Charlie. I forget which one. They find both of them at some point. Here we meet Kirby and we meet Detective Bailey. We also meet Gail, who gets punched in the face again. She ducks the first time, but then gets caught, catches Tara's hand. The next scene, Sam's therapist gets a knock on his door. This is the glass door part from the trailer. This is a quick but pretty cool kill. He just breaks glass, smashes his head a few times, stabs him through the nose. It's pretty brutal, but really quick. He grabs Sam's file, further making it look like it's Sam doing it. We pick up with the characters in college, just like Scream 2. It's a requel, whatever, so it's definitely going to have some similarities with Scream 2. There's a bunch of them. Here, Mindy kind of admits that, and it's like, yeah, we got new rules, like this is going to be bigger, there's going to be more kills, worse kills. I'd say he's more brutal. I don't know if there's more kills. I'd have to look into the kill counts. They definitely, then legacy characters she mentions aren't safe, so you're like, oh, well, maybe Kirby or Gail will go this time. They killed Dewey, who I still think, you know, they shouldn't have killed Dewey. The wrong one died. Mindy actually calls out the 2, she calls out everyone, saying they're all suspects, you know, just like Randy said, but she calls out 2 of the killers, but we have 3 in this one, and we'll get to that, which is another thing I didn't expect. So the news is listing Sam as the prime suspect. They're having their little Core 4 party. Kirby and Bailey find another mask, so they have both of them from part 4, and they're like, oh, they must be counting down to something. So, and of course they are. And while they're having this, we're the Core 4 party, Danny sees Quinn about to get killed, so he tries to get their attention. They don't pay attention. Then he tries to call Samantha. She doesn't answer, but she does tell them that they're a thing, so everyone's excited about that until they get a text about Quinn, and they see Ghostface attacking Quinn, and he throws her body through, and everyone panics. This chase, there's one funny thing I want to mention. There's a random body in the bathtub that I couldn't figure out who it was. In the credits, he's listed as Paul 2.0, which is a funny joke to the first, you think it's a throwaway line where she's like, oh, it's Paul again. She refers to the guy in the beginning as Paul, so this is just another guy, and they call him Paul 2.0. Kind of funny. I wonder what her dad would think. We'll get that answer later. Here, they do this pretty cool escape where they put a ladder to Danny's apartment to get away from Ghostface. Mindy's girlfriend doesn't make it. She gets stabbed before and gets dropped and hits her head on a dumpster, so pretty brutal. Dead, so they take Bailey off the case, and he says he wants to get them for taking away his family. He literally says to him, you fuck with my family, you die, and that is important for Liz. Shows up, her investigative journalism, knows of this Ghostface shrine that's just in New York. Really wonder where she figured that out. Probably those forums. It's all coming back to those forums. It's like 4chan for serial killers. Sam's boyfriend Danny says not to trust anyone, not even him, so I mean that's a given. Nobody trusts Ethan. We're at the Ghostface shrine, museum, whatever you want to call it. There's so many Easter eggs from all of them. I mean, every time I watch it, I notice something new. There's even the thing that they, I can't remember his name, they hung up Sydney's boyfriend number 2. That's there. They literally have everything here. I wonder how much they spent to get all that stuff there. The characters, I mean, the people in the movie probably had access to a lot of that stuff or remade it. Sam sees Billy's costume, and she talks to him some more. There's the TV that took out Stu. Place has got everything. He's sitting with Kirby, and they're like, oh yeah, it's the TV that killed Stu Macher. And they're like, oh, if you believe he's dead. So in that world, there's a rumor that he's still alive. So they're still keeping the Stu could come back thing alive. So maybe, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, but I think at this point they're just going to keep it a running joke. But hey, I'd love it. So that's what number 3 was supposed to be. That's what the following was supposed to be. Let's do it. Let's bring back Matthew Lillard for one final go as Stu. About movies, what's the best? I don't exactly agree with them. I mean, they said Friday 2 or 4. I think Friday the 13th. I think 6 is the best because it's just so much fun and entertaining. It doesn't take itself seriously. 6 is great. And I'd say 4. 4 is really good if you want like a more horror one to take. If you want a more like horror one to take more seriously, 4 is great. I don't know if I'd even put 2 in my top 4. I'd have to. 2's pretty good. It's got one of the best Final Girls, but that's besides the point. Then they say Nightmare, the original, which probably the original, but 3, Dream Warriors is right up there. Kirby says that she was dead for 4 minutes, which is her explaining her mulligan because she died in the 4th movie and she got a mulligan because fans liked her, and one of many. She gets another one. Send Sam and Tara out to track where the killer is, just like in Scream 2, where Randy dies. None of them die this time, though. But they figure out the killer's not there. They track him, and he's at Gail. See, I feel like Gail was very shoehorned in this movie. Like, her character's... It's cool to have her, but her character's not very important. I feel like that's why Neve Campbell didn't want to be a part of this. The Core 4 is definitely carrying it. They can definitely do more moves with them. The other characters should be a part of it, but they don't have to be. I think they do have to do another big one with Neve Campbell if they bring her back. So the killer calls Gail. She's never had a conversation with the killer. During the conversation, the killer takes out Gail's boyfriend and later throws him through the glass. And with who you figure out that killer is, there's no way they do it. They could definitely clean that up a bit. Like, just like Amber taking out Dewey. That's why, you know, if they say later Stu's been there the whole time and Stu is the one that attacked Dewey, Stu is the one that attacked Gail, that could be plausible. I could see a Stu that's been in hiding, you know, maybe working out some, just getting ready to get his revenge. He could probably do it, but not who they claim it is. It's just like Amber in the last one. So the killer on the phone cuts Gale deep on the phone and cuts her deep in the ensuing fight. Gale's about to be finished after a chase. Sam and Tara come to the rescue. Gale somehow survives after getting stabbed, I think, 3-4 times in a giant piece of glass. Just didn't get that killing blow, though. They always gotta get the killing blow. It's not game over unless you see the killing blow. Just like the killer being shot in the head. You know, there's been a few that have not been shot. Danny shows up late at the hospital. They're using him as a red herring. They really like red herrings. So they plan a final trap for Ghostface in the Ghostface Shrine because there's like one entrance. And I don't know why. Of course Ghostface would know about the shrine. I don't know why they think it's a good idea, but it's a cool place to have it, though, let's be honest. They have to take a subway because Bailey says to be in a public place. Now there's a really cool scene where on the subway they get separated. You see all sorts of costumes from Michael Myers to Freddy. The two directors make a cameo as different costumes. There's a lot in there, and you'll notice more every time you watch it. And as they get farther, the lights start going out and they're separated. Mindy's separated with Ethan. They don't trust Ethan, so she's like, stay over there, Ethan. And as the lights go out, a Ghostface is sitting down. He kind of looks at her. And they do the scene with the other group. A Ghostface comes at them, but Danny steps in the way and he kind of goes away. The real Ghostface, though, is on the subway and comes after Mindy, and every time the lights come back up, he gets like closer. Like the Halloween movie where they had the backyard with the lights on and off. That was a really cool kill. I can't say this is a kill, though, because Mindy gets stabbed and survives. So really afraid to kill the main characters. Though it's got good chase scenes and good moments. So Mindy and Chad really can't escape these movies. They'll probably be safe until there's a new batch of characters. You know, like Scream 12, where it's probably like an AI just like creating an army of ghost faces that like take people out or something. Who knows? Everyone else besides Mindy make it to the Ghostface Shrine. They tell Danny to leave. Kirby's like, good call, but this makes Danny a red herring because he's not there. With the shrine, I still notice more things every time I see it. Then the movie that Richie was trying to create starts playing on a projector, which is kind of weird. And you're like, okay. Chad and Tara are having a moment. Ghostface attacks him. Chad holds his own for a while till a second Ghostface comes, and they all both just stab Chad a bunch of times, which he somehow survives, which is insane because he got stabbed like 30 times by two Ghostface. But really cool scene. I don't think they've ever had a scene where there's two Ghostface masked together and attacking, so that was really cool to see. Bailey calls and says that Kirby got fired from the FBI and tries to frame her, and he's on his way. Kirby's been missing for a little while, so now the two corner Sam and Tara. Sam and Tara preparing. Bailey's on one side, Kirby's on the other. They don't know who to trust. Bailey shoots Kirby, and then the Ghostface just walks up to Bailey, and you got 3 killers. They unmask. It's Ethan, whose real name's not Ethan, and the other one is Quinn, who dad's a detective, so they faked her death. You know, which is kind of not believable, but kind of plausible. In the Ritchie's family, he created this shrine, this museum, because Ritchie was obsessed with the movies, and they want to get revenge. He, like he said later, you know, they took his firstborn son, so they're just a family of psychos. They want to finish the movie. They want to kill Sarah, and they want to finish the movie. They want to kill Sam and Tara, and then they want to have Sam have the Ghostface mask on and show that it was really her and she has lost. They mentioned that the two in the beginning were big fans of Ritchie's work and movie, and they inspired them, but they had to take him out because they want to take out Sam and Tara. But this leans into the idea that there could be like a cult, or with that forum, there could be a lot more people, and this could probably go on forever. But, you know, they should keep going as long as they have interesting ideas. Female Says had 6 decent movies. The third one's the one I like the least, but it's not horrible. It's got its moments, but overall most of the movies are pretty solid. And after being shot, Kirby gets up, shoots at Bailey, then she gets stabbed, somehow survives that too. The plot armor in this one's pretty unpenetrable. And Sam stabs Ethan a bunch, and they run to the top of the museum area. Tara gets falls off. Sam grabs her, and Ethan gets up, starts slicing at Tara. Quinn comes up to attack Sam. Sam gives Tara her father's knife, which she grabbed earlier when she was at the glass, and they go their separate ways. Sam shoots Quinn in the face. Tara gets stabbed, but then stabs Ethan in the mouth, which is pretty brutal. Then Bailey confronts Sam. Unfortunately, Sam's out of ammo, so she tackles Sam. They fall off the balconies, of course they do. Bailey wakes up and Sam's missing, and she calls him with the Ghostface voice changer, and she's like, you get what you wanted, and here's my movie, you're in my movie now, and stabs him like 30 times. And as he's bleeding out, Tara comes up and Sam stabs him through the face, and that's how we finish the movie. I mean, they all go outside, and Kirby's fine, Chad's somehow fine, everyone lives. But a pretty cool end. The museum was a really cool idea. I got the mastermind and killer right. I think it's a pretty solid movie. I thought they would be related to Stu somehow. Maybe that was the original idea. If they had Ned, they would have done that. But it makes sense that they're related to Richie, because, you know, that was just a movie ago. So it makes this more about the new Core 4, and I think it gave them their own movie. I think they can continue with them and sprinkle the legacy characters in, but I think we need to have some kind of finale with Nev, Gale, bring like Stu or someone back just to wrap it all up. Maybe they'll do that in 7. Maybe 7's gonna be the last one. Maybe this will go on for a few more. I think it really depends, but they have a lot of options because there's a lot more stories they can tell with the Core 4, and with Sam being linked to Billy. So hopefully the next one comes out next year. I know it's a quick turnaround, but this is a quick turnaround. So, well, thank you for watching. Follow for more content. I got some more movie reviews coming up. I'm gonna go see John Wick 4. I'm probably gonna do a trailer review for that. I got a few others I want to do too. Also giving this away, so if you want this, let me know. Comment below with what your favorite Scream movie is, and let me know where you think 7 should go, and let's start some ideas and theories. Talk to you guys in the comments, so I'll see you below and see you in the next video. Thor out.